Back on the scene.
This is Gamer Tag Radio. Voicemail at 786-2737-GTR.
No problem. So, hi, my name is Dominic Butler, and I'm the lead game designer on Ghost Recon Wildlands.
It's a lot of fun, man. I played the game now for a couple hours now, single player and also a co-op. Why was it so important to have this world like this so open, and there was like so many things that you could do in there?
So I think what's important for us is because right from the beginning, we had a vision for a game that was focused on a kind of freedom of choice. So letting the player play how they want, where they want to move, get around the world, use whatever they find. And this was like a way for us to kind of evolve the brand a little bit. It's something we wanted to do for quite a while. And so that's kind of informs then all our design decisions. It's the way we build the world. It's the way we build the missions. It's the way we tell the story. It's the way we build even our co-op and our solo. How those progressions merge together. All of that is informed by that kind of freedom of choice to just do what you want.
You know what? I use the drone a lot. That was like my best friend right now. The thing is, I love taking my time. I don't like to just rush it. But I mean, you could do that if you want. That's an option if somebody wanted to play that way. But I love taking my time with the game and explore and everything too. So, what is it for you? Like, what is it that you like to do more? Like taking your time or more of like the quick attack?
So I think I'm like sometimes I want to do the take my time thing, and we definitely got those options there. I can get a little bit impatient, so sometimes when it goes live, then I'm quite happy with that. But maybe it's because of the design stuff that I'm more of like a systems guy, and I love playing with systems when they're there in games. And for us, one of the ones that I hope you got the chance to see is the way our factions interact with each other.
Oh, yeah, you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. So we've got different factions in the game. We've got obviously the Santa Blanca cartel. These are the guys that have moved into Bolivia and have kind of taken over the country. These guys are obviously not happy that you're there. You're there to take them down. So that's one of your enemies. Then, and as well as that, there's the Unidad. These guys are like a military force. They work for the corrupt local government, and these guys have been paid off by the Santa Blanca. And so there's this kind of uneasy. It's not really an alliance. They just don't fight directly, but you can spark a fight between them, which is cool. This is one of the things I like to do, where you've got the Unidad. These guys are very like heavy-duty soldiers. They've got armored vehicles. They wear armor. They've got really great weapons and helicopters with rockets on them and all that kind of cool stuff. And if you can get the two factions near each other, and we give you some tools like the flare gun to kind of bring them in. If you can get one of the Santa Blanca guys to draw a weapon, then the Unidad are going to see that as an aggressive act, and they're going to open up on the Santa Blanca. And then you're going to start to get this interfaction fight that you can use to your advantage, sometimes sparking something and then just going right back into cover and let those two duke it out. And then you come in and clean up whoever's left. As well as that, we've got the rebellion. And so these guys are the local Bolivians that are trying to fight back and take back the country. But they got like zero support. They're poor, they're underfunded. And if you want, it's one of the factions that you can opt to help through some of the side content. You're going to meet them a few times during the main story, but in the optional side stuff, you can help these guys. And what's cool about it is that you get to, when you do stuff for them, you'll see like support options unlocked for you, right? So if you, let's say, help them spread a message through their radio, sort of portable radio stations, right? And
I mean, that was really tough.
Right? Okay, so you got to see that, right? So you activate this kind of this portable radio generator thing that's like out in it can be in a field, sometimes they're in villages. You have to, you can discover them in the world. And once you activate it, you saw it, right? But for the people who haven't played it, once you activate it, starts broadcasting this message of rebellion across the airwaves. But the Santa Blanca want to shut it down really quick. So you're just going to get waves of guys coming in. You need to make sure that whole message gets played. Now, having completed something like that, you're going to get options like a mortar strike, right? So they'll be able to help you sometimes in the field by sort of launching some mortars wherever you're pointing at. And that's cool to get that kind of like, I do something for you, you do something for me, and like there's that kind of exchange. And that was the start of it. But then we wanted to see how far we could take that, and we've got lots of different systems running in the world, like traffic and events and NPC like agenda based on time of day and like factions and things like that. So we were looking at how else could we have these things influence each other. And so when you help the rebels, what actually, as well as getting that support back for you, you also get the rebels more present in traffic. You're going to see them more often in villages and towns and just out in the wilderness. You're going to see more of them around. And because these guys like organically and spontaneously without your input are going to start fights with the Santa Blanca, with the Unidad, basically you got this support. You're changing not just your options, but you're kind of changing the dynamic of the world by your actions. And that's something that I love. I get a real kick out of, because I love just kind of seeing, like, I do one thing and then it sort of hits something else and something else and something else, and suddenly I feel a change, not just in a menu page somewhere, but actually like in the world.
And how, when it's co-op, how that affect the game like that in that way too?
So when you're playing in co-op or solo, we wanted to make sure that players had as similar an experience as possible. Obviously, playing with your friends is tons of fun, and no matter how we make our AI teammates, they're never going to be as much fun to play with as your friends, right? Like we're not pretending that that's going to be anything else. But our AI teammates are great because they're not going to complete the game for you, but they're going to support your playstyle. You go loud, they'll go loud. If you're doing a lot of recon, they'll support you in that. When you're quiet and being stealthy, they'll do the same thing. And you can give them basic orders. When you're in co-op, it's a different thing. You don't have the AI teammates anymore, but you have that same progression. You have the same story. You have access to exactly the same stuff. And you as a player, you have just one Ghost Recon Wildlands progression, right? So that's not a solo game or a co-op game. It's Ghost Recon Wildlands. And you might start it in solo. You started, just getting used to it. Maybe you just bought it and you turn it on. You're playing. You don't have any friends on your list yet. Maybe you do. Maybe you want to go play with some strangers. Maybe not. It's up to you. But you're playing it. And you're talking with your friends saying we should play together. When you decide to play together, it doesn't matter how long they've been playing for. It doesn't matter what they've been doing in their game. They're going to bring their progression into your game. And we've got a system that merges those progressions for the duration of the session. And then you'll go apart again once the session's over. But what that really means is that as a player, I'm not having to make a choice of I could start playing, but maybe Mike's not going to be around until 10, so I won't turn it on now because there's no point, and he's going to be here in 15 minutes. In fact, sure, maybe he's going to be late. It doesn't matter. You turn it on, you start playing. Whenever your friend arrives, they just join your game, and you continue playing together then. And that's a beautiful thing. We're really, really happy that we managed to make that happen. I'm not going to lie to you. It's been a big challenge. It's a big technical challenge and design challenge to make sure that it feels right and that it doesn't feel awkward and the players still feel like they're progressing and they're not missing out on anything when these things come together. But we're really happy with the result.
And what about those that they probably don't have friends and they just got a system brand new? They got Ghost Recon. Yeah. Can they also find random matches too, like other people that they're not on a friend list?
Absolutely. Yes. So I would stress that the game can be played completely solo offline if you want. In that case, you're going to be playing with the AI teammates. If you don't have friends that are playing or your friend list isn't populated, that's fine. You can do matchmaking with others, and we're going to put you together with people. We have our filters that run and try to find the most appropriate players for you to play with.
Oh, I'm down too.
Right here.
The sniper's got us targeted. God damn.
Thank you, good sir. Kind
Yeah,
sir.
there's a sniper on the building back, but it's up to you guys if you want to get him.
Jesus.
There we go. Got him.
I'm in the mine. I've got about 30 seconds left until I die.
We're clear.
Oh, shoot. Okay. Coming for you.
Thank you.
Nice. Sweet, I'm gonna tag these supplies really.
My name is Nordin Aboud, and I'm the senior producer on Ghost Recon Wildlands.
For you, like, what is it that you like to do more as a gamer while playing this game? Are you more of like the solo type or co-op?
For me, I mean, obviously the co-op is very interesting because actually you can be playing with other people. And you know, I mean, as a producer, I spend lots of time with big teams, many people working on projects, and having the opportunity then to do other things with sometimes the same people, like my workmates, and playing in co-op is always a great moment. I play solo, sometimes not the same games. For instance, in the case of Ghost Recon, the big thing is each time you look at playing this game with 3 other people, it's very important to have in mind who you're playing with it. And for instance, let's say you want to play fully stealth, hide, etc.
I try that, and I think I find that way more challenging, and I love it. I love that more than just rushing it, you know? So take your time, right?
Exactly. But if you happen to be playing with 3 guys who don't care, who just rush it and who put the alarm on all the time, and no matter what you do, then it's not so much about saying, I need to change group, but trying to adapt who have the play. So for me, that's the most exciting thing in this game when I play it is after, let's say, 5-10 minutes, I get a good idea of who I'm playing with. And on top of that, because the game has this drop-in, drop-out approach, because of the matchmaking, when we make tests on bigger groups of people, what I can see is that very quickly, the people who like to play a little bit like you, they stay. People who want to play in another way, they kind of drop out. And this is also very exciting. It's not just about adapting to the people you play with, but it's also discovering new people when you play in this open matchmaking.